Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today to Claiming Your Funds. My name is Todd Kleismit, and I'm honored to serve as the director of America250 Ohio. This year is 2026, and this is the year of a landmark anniversary for the United States of America. America 250 is a nationwide initiative to commemorate the 250th anniversary of the founding of the United States. Our mission here in Ohio is to inspire all Ohioans to reflect on our shared history, celebrate our achievements, and look forward to building a stronger future together. You can find out more about the commission's work online later. There is a national commission, and then we are the Ohio Commission. So through programs, partnerships, and events, we aim to engage communities across the state in meaningful ways leading up to this historic milestone. Today's webinar is part of that effort. We're bringing together people to share knowledge and resources that benefit our communities. We have an outstanding lineup of speakers today who will provide valuable insights. Pleased to be invited to be with you today. This is very relevant for me as well. So first we'll hear from Jessica Hamlin with the Better Business Bureau, who will share some tips and strategies to help protect consumers and businesses from fraud and scams. Then Susie Wagner and Marlene Chooks from the Division of Unclaimed Funds will discuss how Ohioans can reunite with money and property that rightfully belongs to them but has been lost and or forgotten. So we're excited to have you with us today, and we encourage you to ask questions and engage throughout the session. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and get started.
Thank you all for having us here at BBB. We're very excited to be partnering with you once again. And many thanks to Susie for bringing our partnership together and revisiting us every time this year. I am Jessica Hamlin. I am with Better Business Bureau of Central and Southeastern Ohio. We represent 21 counties in Ohio. There are numerous other bureaus that you might be tapping into from time to time, but we are all one part of one BBB. At BBB, every year we send out an annual risk report. Ours will be coming out in the middle of March this year. In this risk report, you will be able to see the hottest trends in scams and dollar losses, all kinds of different bad actors and things that are happening in the community. And we bring this up because many of these elements focus around money and claiming funds or answering and appealing to people's need for money, particularly in today's day and times. You can look up whether something is a legitimate effort or a scam by going to our scam tracker. On our scam tracker, you'll find it at bbb.org. It is a reporting platform for you, but it is also a research platform as well. You can look up phone numbers that you might be getting randomized by calls into your cell phone. You can look up emails. You can look up specific phrasing. You can look up and see a heat map of what is hottest in your own personal zip code. This has been named one of the top scam combating tools in the U.S. by several entities for several years. Last year in 2024, and again, we're working on pulling up our numbers for 2025, the BBB Scam Tracker helped people avoid losing approximately $43 million. And we are here because this is one of those legitimate efforts, and we do feel it is important to collaborate with our community agencies in efforts that do benefit our consumers. Next slide. When you are looking up a business to do good business with, we always say trust starts by finding a better business. Look for a business you can trust. As you engage with any agency or entity, check them out. You can look them up at bbb.org, and you can also find what's happening at your own local BBB. In the upper right-hand corner of bbb.org, you'll find a sign-in. And under that sign-in, you'll be able to localize it to your specific BBB simply by putting in your own zip code. And that will help you find reputable businesses that are happy to do business well with you. And that brings us to the beginning of our presentation on how to legitimately claim and find those funds that are in your name. And we welcome Susie Wagner.
Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Todd. We appreciate you both for being here. So we are going to get started. In case you didn't know, February is Find Your Funds Month. So Unclaimed Funds Month is February. So it's no time like right now to be checking your name to see if you have some money. Before we get into that, I wanted to share some interesting stats that we've put together. Right now, over the past year, the average claim amount is $1,400. And we are talking about $4.8 billion right now. Last year, we paid out 68,000 claims and 110 million, over 110 million has been returned to Ohioans. So there's some fun stats for us. Next slide. So let's just go over real quick for context to make sure everybody is on the same page. Unclaimed funds, it's lost and forgotten money. Where does it come from? It's reported by businesses and banks after 3 to 5 years of inactivity. So it's really important for you to maintain an active account with all of your for all of your banks and businesses where you hold money. Each business and bank does have oftentimes their own definition of what it means to keep an active account. So please proactively maintain those, and then we will not get your money. So where does it come from? The inactive checking accounts, savings accounts. In the state of Ohio, some of our largest money comes from stocks and bonds and dividends. And then a very large portion comes from life insurance policies. So if you could have a deceased loved one that's passed away, and there could be a life insurance policy for you to claim. And we'll share a little bit about how that works in our system. Next slide. So we got a new system a year ago, and it's been great timing. Because of that, we are running about 65% of all the claims that are submitted and started on our website are being able to be streamlined for approval. And that's because this new system creates some efficiencies and allows us to validate your information. So that's huge. Another new thing that we've done is upped our notary threshold. So you only need to notarize your claim form and sign it if the total amount that you are claiming is over $3,000. And with this new system, we have an enhanced website. And so this is the benefit to you, the Ohioans. If you are looking to claim your money, you can do that right on our site. You can search your name, upload your documents, and check the status of your claim. Everything is directly on our site. Previously, we had sent you to missingmoney.com, which is still a valid and authenticate site to use. We recommend you use that if you have lived in multiple states. But if you've lived in Ohio your whole life, just go ahead and use our website there on the page, unclaimedfunds.ohio.gov. And then in case you didn't know, businesses and banks are required by law to report their unclaimed funds to us. And with this new site, they're able to do that directly on our site, as well as remit payment and file their negative report. In the past, we've sent those businesses to Ohio Business Gateway, which is still a valid option to use. However, we know from feedback that businesses and holders are finding our site much easier to use. And so with our new system, we also are able to provide some more communication and really reach out to those claimants, especially if we've been waiting a while for your documents. So that's been a great experience for everyone to be able to know where they are in the process. And with our new system, we have a new law that happened last year. You may have heard about it. House Bill 96 was signed. And so what does that mean to you? This is a very important slide. Everyone has until 2036 to claim their money. So unclaimed properties that are reported to us will escheat to the state 10 years after it was reported. So unless there's a valid claim made. So if you have a valid claim, if you started your claim, you're good. But if you haven't started your claim, you have 10 years from the reported date. And if you're wondering where that reported date is, it will be on your claim form. So it's called a receive date on your claim form. You have 10 years from that date. We surely hope that's enough time for you to gather your documents and get that information to us. After 2036, you will no longer be able to claim those funds because they'll be escheated to the state. Okay, and then with the bill, we have also been allocated a few more dollars to go to outreach. And so we are working on that to, you might be seeing some new advertising or publicity ads out there where we're trying to spread the word and make sure everyone knows about claiming your funds and how to do it. So with this attention of the new law, we have had, as you can imagine, an increase in folks reaching out and starting to claim their money. We have seen over a 400% increase. Okay, 400% increase. Let me say that again. So right now we do have 48,000 claims waiting to be processed. So it's important for you to understand that we are hiring more team members internally to take care of everyone's claim and get them reviewed. We do ask you to provide some patience. And I know patience is a tough one, but we are all in this together and we are working diligently to review your information. Every document we received is reviewed. And with that, I want to introduce you to a couple characters. We have Fred here. I'm going to go over a few stories that kind of showcase how claiming your funds matters and how the process works for a lot of folks out there. And then we'll get into the details of how do you actually do it step by step. So Fred has a family. He loves to golf in his spare time. His wife saw one of her ads on Facebook about unclaimed funds. She was like, oh, I've heard about this. Let me check and see if I have any. She didn't have any money to claim, but she found money for her husband. So he went to our website, filled out the form, and got his claim form, started his claim. And then he saw, oh, okay, I have some required documents I need to submit. He gathered those documents, submitted them online, and then luckily, he was one of those who was approved in the streamlined process that we have with our new system, and he received his check in a few weeks. So now Fred is excited about his money. He's like, what am I going to do to spend it? I think I'm going to go play another few rounds of golf. So that's Fred. And now I want you to meet Mary Ann. Mary Ann and her family attended our Ohio State Fair. If you didn't know, the Division of Unclaimed Funds has a booth in the Bricker Building. Mary Ann and her family stopped by our booth. They checked their names, didn't find any money. But as you can see in the clip and the artist rendering here, Mary Ann is super excited because we mentioned to her, hey, do you have any deceased loved ones that you might be able to claim money for? Yes, she said. I'm the only child and my mother passed away last year. So she looked up her mother's name and found she has an old life insurance policy that she is the heir for. So she initiated her claim right there at the fair. That's what we have our computers there for. Start the claim. And then she got her email with the claim form and the required documentation. Mary Ann got a little busy. She's a mom with 2 kids. She was taking them to ball games and life got in the way. She forgot that she had to submit these documents to us. She got an email. After 30 days, we hadn't heard anything. Our email said, hey, Mary Ann, we need you to provide some documents in order to complete your claim. And so Mary Ann's story is to be continued. So we're waiting to see if Mary Ann will submit those documents. Otherwise, her claim is not going to go through the process. And this is what happens with a lot of people. We get distracted. There's so many things to be calling our attention to. So we really urge you to submit your documentation as quickly as possible as you start the process so you don't forget and you can get approved. Hopefully you're one of the ones who get approved quicker and sooner rather than having to wait longer for us to review everything that you've sent us. And so if you've been wondering, what are the steps to claim my money? It is 3 steps. So just like with Marianne and Fred, the first step is to search your name to see if you have any funds. You'll generate a claim form, and then that claim form, you'll have required documents to review, and then you submit those documents to us on our website. On the next screen, I'm going to show you a view of our website. So this is the form on our website. You'll put in your name, last name, first name. When it comes to city and zip code, I advise you to not put your city and zip code in there because it's going to refine and limit the search. If you've lived in multiple cities, you kind of want to leave it open, see if there's anything out there that may have been reported in like an older city that you've lived in. Unless your name is common, you know, if your name is Jane Smith, then it might be good to go ahead and put a city in there because then, as you can imagine, there's probably a lot of Jane Smiths. By putting in the city, it will help refine that search. Property ID, you can ignore that field. It is not required once you fill in your first and last name and you hit search. Then, once you hit search on the next screen, you will see, in this instance, we typed in John Doe. John Doe has several properties here listed as potential properties for him to claim. What you're looking for in this form is there any address where I have previously lived or been associated with? If there is, then that potentially could be a claim for you. So go ahead and hit that claim button on the left-hand side of the screen. And you might have several. If you have more than one here, go ahead and hit the claim button for all of the items that are yours to claim. And so in this instance, we saw that there were 2 possible claims for us. And that's what we're showing. Once you hit the claim button, you have the ability to remove those items from your cart, if you will, by hitting the left side, the remove and the X. But we want to keep them in the cart because we think those are ours to claim. And then on the next screen, once you go ahead and fill out the form, you'll get the screen where we're asking for your last name, first name, your normal contact information. Please provide the email address that you're using now and that you want this information and correspondence to go to. We will require your social security number on this form. It will be hidden on the screen, and this is a safe and secure site. This information is needed because oftentimes when your money is reported to us, they only give us your name and your social security number. So if we can have your social security number when you input your information, we can see, okay, that's a match. So that's why it's so important. And you'll fill out this checkbox and do an electronic signature to submit that form. And on the next screen. So once you submit that form, congratulations, you've completed the first step to claiming your funds. So you are not finished. You will still need to review those required documents on your claim form and provide them to us. And on the next screen, Marlene will kick us off in walking you through steps 2 and 3 and showing you how to check the status of your claim.
Hello, I'm Marlene Chooks, the Deputy Superintendent of the Division. I will walk you through the required documentation for all claims, regardless your relationship to the property. So next slide, please. So here's a checklist of the documents required for all claims. All claims, we need to identify the person who's claiming the funds. So we will need an unexpired driver's license. It could be a state ID, passport, a government ID. We need proof of your social security number with like a W-2, your actual social security card to validate that. We need proof of address. So when we say proof of address, we don't mean your current address where you live in, unless that's the address that was reported on the claim form. So you will see the property and then it will have a reported address. We need proof of that address that was reported to us, which you could have a utility bill, a bank statement, some kind of tax statement that shows that you were affiliated with the address that was reported to us. And we also ask you to fill out a W-9 tax form. So if you submit all of those 4 documents in the first group, that's one step to getting your claim faster, because we need all of those regardless of what other documentation we may require. Next slide, please. So our new website does allow you to submit those documents online, which is absolutely great. It allows us to get processed faster. They'll get to us faster, and you don't have to go get a stamp and mail them. But you can always mail them to our office too if you choose not to submit your documents online. The documents are in a secure website that no one can get to, so they're actually downloaded from the secure website, and then they're uploaded to our system. So you would enter your claim ID, and please be sure to double check your claim ID from your claim form. You should have gotten an email with your claim ID at the type. Enter that number twice. Put your email address, the email address where you want to get notified about the next steps in your claim process, and you can upload those documents from our site. You can click on the add document and it'll add that file to your claim. Next slide, please. So after you've entered all the documents and you're like, hey, I haven't heard anything about this, you can always go to our site, unclaimedfunds.ohio.gov, put in your claim ID, go back to your email if you didn't write it down somewhere, and find that claim ID on the claim form. It should be at the top. Enter that number and it will give you the status of your claim, whether it's still waiting to be processed or waiting to be reviewed, or if it's been paid, it'll tell you. Next slide, please. So the next slide, this slide is an actual, I know people think, oh my
So
God,
apparently the state
it's really hard to find our claims form, but this video will show how easy it really is. Oh, maybe, no?
1 second,
not.
we're pulling it up.
Okay.
We're not hearing sound, Alexandra.
apparently the state of Ohio might owe me some money. Let's go check it out. I'm heading over to the official website, and so far they're right. The process is simple and straightforward. It looks like I have 2 claims. I add them to my cart, select my relationship to the claim. In most cases, you'll choose owner. Then I enter my contact information and social security number. Within just a few minutes, I receive an email from the division with my claim form. This shows where the money is from and how much I'm owed. It looks like my first claim is for $8 and my second one is $15. Sweet, that's $23 I didn't have before. I also see that claims can be filed for up to 10 years. The form then outlines the next steps, which include uploading documents to verify my identity and address. The form lists the required documents. I choose to upload my driver's license and and Social Security card. Helpful tip, label your files before uploading, since you'll be asked to identify each document during the upload process. It's been a few weeks, so I checked the status of my claim. I haven't received any notifications about issues with my documents, so it appears my claim is being processed. And now, the next step is to watch the mail for my check.
Okay. That was our video for today, sharing a claimant's experience. If you have questions about your specific claim, we want you to email us at claims@com.ohio.gov, or you can give us a call at 614-466-4433. And this is all on our website under the Contact Us information form and on your screen right now, if you didn't catch that. So it's 614-466-4433 and claims@com.ohio.gov. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a ring or an email. Every claim is a little different and does require us to review your information. And with that, we are complete with the webinar. Thank you for attending today. We appreciate your time. We hope you learned something new and we made it enjoyable. Have a great Thursday. Bye-bye.